ISUPK, Trinidad and Tobago, under Commanding General Yohana. We will be live on the streets, 91.9 FM.
From west to the depth till they bury me.
Every Thursday from 7 p.m. Hosted by Officer Sawapya Allah and Officer Mathkoya.
West to the depth till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. Live every Thursday night from 7 p.m. on the streets, 91.9 FM.
Commanding General Yohana here, ISUPK, the original ISUPK, 1969, Body of Christ. Here's what I want to tell you, man. Now, I want you to think about something for a minute. You've been studying the scriptures. You've been watching us on tape. You've been watching all kinds of camps on tape. And as you've been watching and studying, you realize that it's coming to the point where you got to put this into action, that you need to step out there on the street and handle that work. Now, here's what happens to a ton of brothers. A ton of brothers go out there without coming through the school and learning what they need to learn. And what happens is they run out there and then they run into problems that they don't know about. And they try to get them problems answered online and calling brothers and all that. And it creates a bunch of confusion. And in many cases, it eventually chokes the truth. It look like it ain't gonna choke it now because you feeling strong, your energy's up. Listen to me, man. Listen to me. You understand? I've been doing this 40 plus years. Okay? Ask anybody my name. It's going to all be bad, which it's supposed to be. All right? Christ said when they speak all manner of evil against you, that's when you know you're doing this work. Do yourself a favor. Come to the ISUPK first. Learn from the original school first. Even if you think it's too militant or too this, too that, don't let anything block you from getting the pure knowledge first, straight from ISUPK. I'm saying this out of love because I'm seeing too many brothers fall. They're getting up on the cats. They're getting what they click. Bring your click here and let your click handle ISUPK. Because here's the deal. If your click ain't strong enough to handle ISUPK, why would you go out on the street and get swallowed up out there? And if you feel like ISUPK ain't got it all down, then you should be man enough, you and your crew, to come to us and lay down and break bread and talk about these scriptures. Ain't no harm gonna come to you. Ain't no harm come to a man that disagree with the truth. You ain't trying to harm us. We damn sure ain't trying to harm our own. So come to the ISUPK, sit down in our classes, learn from us, and then you can make your serious decision on what it is that you're supposed to be. And I guarantee you, you're going to realize that it was much more than what you saw on that video, man. Much love to all you warriors learning, growing, and getting ready to bust out into this work. I'll see you soon. Shalom, family.
ISUPK, Trinidad and Tobago, under Commanding General Yohana. We will be live on the streets, 91.9 FM.
From west to the depth till they bury me.
Every Thursday from 7 p.m. Hosted by Officer Sawapya Allah and Officer Mathkoya.
West to the depth till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. Live every Thursday night from 7 p.m. on the streets, 91.9 FM.
You boy. You know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in. Yeah. that shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home, that's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown, I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my Hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, think you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it, ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talkin' shit, yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm rippin'. And my niggas solid, number real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start steppin'. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapping together. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, the shit got me feeling plain. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complexion. Still fighting to get accepted, we hear the truth and reject it. But love is getting corrected, and all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Wagwan priest, you good?
What's going on?
Listen, man, I'm hearing you, man. You ISUPK brothers be talking about the Jacobites that was in Scotland were originally black. You man ain't reaching that.
Listen, put that on the TV right there. You'll see it. This is the transportations. If you look right there, it will let you know. Robert Adam, brown. William Bow, black. Dogo Campbell, brown complexion. Black, brown. I see brown, black, brown, black, brown. This is all the Jacobites that was shipped out of places like Ireland and so forth. This is the transportations.
Right.
So this is giving you the complexion of the Jacobites that was shipped out of these places to Barbados and other islands in the West Indies.
No, that's mad. So it's saying what? Robert Adams was a labourer and he was what? Brown faced. William Bell was what? Black, curled hair. Damn. That's deep, man.
Which means what as well? Which also means black people was in Europe. Why? Because they ruled the Dark Ages. So that's why they was in Europe.
You man are cold at history, man. All right, man. Shalom.
ISUPK, Trinidad and Tobago, under Commanding General Yohana. We will be live on the streets, 91.9 FM.
One west to the death till they bury me.
Every Thursday from 7 p.m. Hosted by Officer Sawapya Allah and Officer
One
Maskoyak.
west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. Live every Thursday night from 7 p.m. on the streets, 91.9 FM.
Adhere to these instructions, because without these instructions, we see the condition that we face and the challenges that we face on a daily basis, right? And these are reminders unto us, just like we were reminded as young black men, the importance of knowing your family history, the importance of knowing your family culture. This is important to us today, right? I know if you want to say anything.
Yes. Right. Shalom again to all the listeners. Right. Sam Atwaya from New Zealand School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Just as the officers bring out a while ago, school location is at like goal number one, Maurice Street in Point 14, and something that all people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians should understand is that the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, this school is for you. This school is here to teach your laws, your history, your culture, according to the Bible. You understand? This was established in 1969 by Commanding General Yahana, who's the leader over the school. Right?
Right. And again, so what for that act, right? And that act just means brother, right? Again, the importance of understanding the structure of a family is what we always say that the black community lack, right? And a lot of people would always mention that that they're not seeing that black people not coming together, and when that question arise, the first thing that when it come across to me, I say, nah, that is not true. Because now if you go, to our web page, if you go to the ISUPK and you click on, on any one of these schools and them, you would see the spirit of a family structure that, that has been established, and the Most High God was always a father to us. And this is why, our history or record, is that Bible, right? And this is why it's so important for us, right, to hold fast these instructions, right? So again, this is our constitution. This constitution, it has all the instructions that we needed or is needed to fix this community. And without these instructions, you see the condition that this society or this place is going through at the moment. All right. So again, any questions, comments, feel free to call on the line, right? Have a number to the line, right? The number is 342-0081 or 466-5391, right? And the additional, right? To that's the number, right? So again, you could call on those numbers, right? And again, bring your comments, bring your questions. All these questions and comments again, would be addressed, right? So again, we want to go into something, that the our country is at present, right? And when I say our country, this country, has been, I would say, in the arms, or just like a mother would be holding a child, in the arms of our sister, or as you say, our neighboring brother, Venezuela. A lot of people don't know that again, or have been, not privy to the history between, Trinidad and Venezuela, right? Again, the people of Venezuela, right, have been chatting, again, these shores, way before, our colonizer, our oppressors, had a hand, in bringing our forefathers to these shores, right? And I know a lot of people might be privy to what we hear, or this pathway where we call Indian War, right? That was a pathway. When you look at the map, at Trinidad and Tobago, and you look at that pathway, you would see that pathway leading straight back to the shores of Moruga.
Right.
Right. And when you look the location of Moruga from the location of where Venezuela is situated, you would see it is just
a couple miles, right, away. And they have been trodden again these shores, way before the inhabitants of different cultures, different, nations, being brought here and inhabit, what we call the land, right? So with this being said, it is a reminder to us and not being privy to this. Now there's a history in all records, which is again this book, the Bible, our Constitution, where Jacob would be, calling or guarding his sons, and anybody who is familiar with these records, and have an idea who Jacob is, they would say, yeah, I know who's Jacob. Jacob was, the father of these 12 sons, right? And then you'll hear the name Israel, right? Is the same person, right? And why it is the same person? Because when you go back and you look what Jacob did in order to inherit that name, it's just like we are today to inherit our name, because in this time that we are in right now, we have no inheritance or no record or no identity of who we are. And this is why in our history, this time or this captivity that we were under or we are under at present, we don't have an identity. So we'll ask a lot of our brothers and sisters, right, in the Black community, what is your nationality?
Right.
And based on their response, they would always direct their nationality to the land of their, let me say, their residency, right? And that is not again your nationality. This is just a place where you reside or where you were born, right? The nationality is who you are, or the race or the line of people that you come from. We come from a line or a race of people that is recorded in this book. And all these, again, people, again, or these nations, if we could find them, recorded in this book.
Correct.
Right.
So like you're saying, if I may just add to what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
What is also important for our people to know and to understand, right, is that the Bible belongs to Black people. The Bible is a Black book. You understand? Some might say the Bible is written by a white man, King James. But when you go into the history, you'll understand that King James was a Black man. You understand? As the days going along, and we come on the different sessions, you're going to get more understanding about the Bible, right? But today we're talking about a bloodline of people. You understand? And their history, just as the brother bringing out, the Venezuelans traversing through Indian walk. Some people might think Indian walk belongs to a different group of people, but actually it belongs to the Hispanics, which is part of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You understand? That is very, very important for us to understand. So like yes, sir.
Again, what the brother is bringing out is so, very heavy. And it is something that, I always take joy, in hearing and understanding that, you belong to a family.
Correct.
Because now as a father, who having children, and your children having that joy to know that, hey, I belong to this family. It's like, you could go out, in the streets, and you can say, hey, this is my family.
Right.
This is who I belong to.
Yeah.
I come from this bloodline. And this is joy that that we should have as a family, right? And what we're seeing right now happening to our brother, right? And a lot of people, today you would know who these so-called Venezuelans are,
Right.
right? And they are of the tribe, or their father would be Asha.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And it's something that would not be taught, on a platform where you would recognize that who this family is, right? It would again, the Most High God is always a father to us, and we would always draw reference, because now in acknowledging the Most High, this is something that every demographic, as you say, people, does acknowledge that there's a God,
Right.
right? But understand that the structure that this God, or the Most High God set up, was always a structure that was right. And to be in that right structure now, you must now align or understand where your family structure lies in acknowledging or knowing who you are. And we as a people and as a family, we have, moved away from that structure. And by moving away from that structure, this is why, the conditions that we face today, the challenges that we face today, is because of moving away from that structure. And that structure is instructions that was laid down for us by our Father, right? By the Most High God, and coming through as we say, the order and the structure of all forefathers. It's like a father leaving instructions to his children and telling them, hey, you is the eldest son, right? I want to make sure like me not being here, my present not being, at this time, make sure that that the younger ones, receive these instructions until I return. And this is where we are right now in bringing the notification to this house or this family, right? So again, going back to Asha, right? Asha, derived from a family or from one of, the sons that Jacob had, right? And when you go into Genesis 49, right? Go to Genesis 49.
Come.
Right? And we go read what it says, right?
Book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
Right? So now what we're looking at right now is Jacob, telling his sons and them, gather yourselves together, and he will tell them what will fall in the last days. A lot of us, looking, and we keep on, using this phrase, but like, these the last days, but
Right, correct.
like, these the last days.
Correct,
but,
yeah, correct.
So now, when you're hearing that now, it's like where this derived from, where this, as we say, this, let me say this slang derived from, it derived from right here, from our father, or as we say, our great grandfather, telling or as we say, our grandfathers, this gather yourself together. This is we falling now.
Correct.
Go ahead.
Verse 2. Gather yourself together, and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel, your father.
So now you hear he use the term Jacob, his son, your father, and you,
Jacob,
right?
and hearken unto Israel, your father.
Right, and it's like, hey, because now just like children will call their father by the name. A lot of us, grow up with that custom and say, hey, Jim, calling them by their name, and then we say, no, daddy.
Right.
So now this is the same instance. The record just being wrote, and this was it. This is who we are. But now they are calling it daddy. So there is my father.
Correct.
And these sons and them, as we say, was gathered. Just like any father will bring his children, together, at a specific time, because knowing that, as we say, as we go down in age, there'll always be a time they say, hey, son comes, daughter comes.
Go
ahead.
I say, no, you correct way of saying this. Just like, when your father, knowing his day is close. You understand?
Sure.
Or just as you rightfully saying, at age, you're going to pull your family together and show them, all right, this is what I want all you to do. When I die or when I pass on, you understand what I'm showing you? This is what I'm laying out here for you to follow. You understand? Even before, so like if I'm me, right? I want to stay too long, but even before that, parents will call the children, put them sit down and tell them, hey, this is the direction and where to go, this is what happening here, this is what going on here. You know what I mean? So you're correct way of saying. So like I said.
Right. And it's like, and just like we hear now, and it's brothers having a conversation.
Correct.
And it's like, hey, Commanding General, and I just drawing back to this, right? Because now we go see, as we read on now, why it is important to really know or to understand your family. Because now, again, it's like this. Who wanted to invade your house, right? And why? So now it's like, what we're seeing right now taking place is like one of our brothers' house want to be invaded.
Correct.
And and why, this, as you say, different demographic are people or oppressor. White is they want to invade that house because now there's something inside that day that that is of value.
Correct.
And it's like a cashier is like a child that have any child with that with have toys and they play and a next child come along and they see like, hey, they jealous that child. What they will do, and the little bigger or whatever, what they will do, they bully that child and take away that as you say that toys from that child from playing, because now it's like, hey, I want this. And they wasn't taught, how to be civil.
Mm-hmm.
So now we live in amongst, as you say, nations or races of people who don't understand how it means to be civil, right? How it means, to really, have it, like compassion, right? They would say that they use all the phrases and all the terms, but they don't understand this, right? So let me jump to verse 20, right?
Can. Book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 20. Out of Asher, his bread shall be fat,
Right.
and he shall yield royal dainties.
Right. So out of Asher, right? It say his bread shall be fat, right? And he shall do what?
Yield royal dainties.
Right. And what are these royal deities, right? It refers to, again, a luxurious or fine quality of food, right? Stable for a king or royal court, right? Often associated with royalty.
Right.
Right. So it's like, the land mass, or what we call Venezuela, right? And again, there's a chart, right? And what we're reading about is the same chart, right? Where these sons and them would reside, right? And if anybody, is or familiar with, the South America landmass, right? Where, let me say, we from north come straight down, let me see, to Argentina, right? This is where this family or these sons and them reside, right? So now, when you hear about Venezuela, they are from the tribe of Asha. But when you look up, where they reside from, you would see that they consist of Brazil, Colombia,
Correct.
and
Uruguay.
right? And a couple more of these other South American.
Can.
So now, when you look at what they produce, you would see that they produce the things that that kings would enjoy, or let me say, any royal person who have charge over this place. And we know that what Venezuela is sitting on now is something that, again, that different, as we say, races or different people would want to have. Because why? This is what would, would fund them, in many different, or boost their economy. Right? And they have been trying to, reap or try to go into this country for quite a period of time. Right? So Asha, read over what Asha.
Can. Book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 20. Out of Asher, his bread shall be fat,
right?
And he, Salakia,
Right.
shall yield royal dainties.
Right. So now we see, Asha bread being fat, and he shall do what?
Yield royal dainties.
Right. And he will have a lot of riches. Right. And we see who's speaking here. We see Jacob speaking to these brothers here.
Can. One of the sons. Can.
Yes. And we just kind of skip through, because now, again, again, it's like, based on this, who invaded your womb? Because now we right here, right? And who are we here in the West Indies? We are from what? From the tribe of Benjamin.
Right.
Right.
So like I say, for me, just to add a little bit to what you're saying, right? What is also important is that the prophecy is that the children of Asher, right, they will yield royal deities. When you look at the oil that Venezuela have, of course, just as rightfully saying, it could boost the economy. Look at the amount of gold that the oppressor have locked down from Venezuela in another country.
That's right.
That belongs to the Venezuelans. You understand what I'm saying? Most people might be angry with the Venezuelans coming across here, but they don't understand that is the oppressor that have them in that position.
Right.
So as the scriptures rightfully say, not to go too far. You understand? In the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6, it says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
That's right.
We don't understand. Although we live in different land masses and in different countries, you understand? These 12 tribes, they are brothers, blood brothers.
That's right.
You understand? So although we might be, let me break it down a little smaller, although we might be in different gangs, for example, like 6, 7, 8, 9, Rasta Muslim, we don't understand that we are true brothers from a bloodline.
That's right.
And this bloodline, or this family, as I was saying earlier, in this family, it have rules that we as a people should follow. You understand? And once we don't follow these rules, is of course, all the outside influences will come in and overthrow our house. And that is what we're seeing happening with our brother over in Venezuela right now. You understand? Just rolling back a little bit, I was hearing a call on the previous show, as I was outside in the lobby saying, and you're saying that white is 95% black and 5% white. Why the 95% black in the prisons and all the different things? We have to understand as a people, this Bible belongs to us, and it shows us why 95% of us is in the prison system or going through hell right now. In this Bible, it shows why the Venezuela right now.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Another one of the caller was also saying that, back in her days, right? That, your children could have walked the street, and if they're doing something wrong, another neighbor will correct them, will correct the child. But no, nobody can correct nobody.
Right.
But we don't understand. Once we return back to these rules, these laws that the Most High laid for us, we will be in the perfect place that we once was in, according to the Lord, right? So like you say on that.
Again, keep it back to the
Most High corrects.
This point, and again, remember to call the number 342-0081, right, or 466-5391, right? Again, we live on the Street 91 FM, right? Again, Commanding General Yana, has been holding down this truth, and again, a lot of people would hear from time to time, we mention this brother name, but we mentioned Moses, we mentioned again, as you say, the men before, after Moses, the prophets, we mentioned Christ's disciples, and Commanding General Yana was again, it is like the last man standing, in the spirit of the Most High and Christ to bring this out to brothers and sisters,
Correct.
to bring this truth out, in reviving our nation. Because now where we are right now, when you look at, as we say, the how the structure, the map setup is like Trinidad right at the bottom here. And imagine, receiving this truth quite at the bottom here. Everybody on top and you to the bottom, and you receive the truth. And this is where we are right now in Trinidad, in receiving the truth and sharing this truth to brothers and sisters. And we always, in life, tell brothers and sisters, that it is important for to come to these classes, to come to sit down, break bread with your family. Again, we are high holy days, we are feast days, right? So all these things again, that we're going as as we go on, or the program continue.
Correct.
Bring this reminder to us. So it's like brothers come in, and we bring in that reminder to this family, to this house, and we telling brothers that again, don't look at our brother Asha as any different from what we are facing right now here in challenges that we face right now in Trinidad. Because again, a lot of people, would think and look at, it's like you looking, your brother to stone. I understand that, brother. But now as we look at the condition that they face, we go with now. Them going through this. Look, we going through the same thing.
Correct.
Now, in order to align that, now we have to go back to your history or to your records to really understand the alignment and to know this is what we face, right? So now we see, again, Asha, again, fatted bread, right? Go to let me go to the next thing again. Callers, feel free to call in right? Again, feel free, to ask your questions, right? You can type in your questions in the chat as well, right? If you see anything on the chat board,
Right,
anything, right? Feel free to type in your questions, right? And it is important for us because now the Most High God is as always, bring this reminder through righteous black men.
Correct.
Right? And when we say black, we're talking about this family. We talk about our so-called Hispanic brothers, and we talk about our so-called Native Indian brothers. And
Correct.
again, it's like now you're on the underside, you're talking about your family now, and it's like, hey, this family or this structure, it must be brought back together in order for us to really, as we say, to grow as a nation, as a people. So now we look at the place that, as you say, that our birth of our, let me say, nativity, and we think that, hey, we is native, but this is just where we really derive from is far. Is a history that would never be taught,
Right.
but only be taught in this school.
Correct.
In the, as you say, in the ISUPK.
So,
Yes.
yeah, so like if I may,
Right,
now just adding a little bit to what he's saying, right? Because what the brother rightfully saying is absolutely correct. You understand? This history of the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel, that wouldn't be taught in the schools. They wouldn't get that taught in the traditional schools that we will go to. You understand? Because of course the Native Indians out in Santa Rosa, they are our family, right? We have the Asherites coming across from Venezuela, they are our families. But what happens is most times people, the people that be, they push the narrative for us to hate one another. You understand? So for example, like we might watch the hotels the police might make a raid in one of the hotels and say we get 19 Venezuelans or 8 Venezuelans. You understand? But they're not showing you the people and them that actually brought them across here. You understand what I'm saying? We're just looking at where them Venezuelans them selling themselves. But we're not looking like the people who actually have the power to bring them across here. You understand what I'm showing? And set them up in these establishments. Just like we will have the guns and the drugs coming into the black communities. You understand? We don't have the power to bring in these things. So now we have to look at the people, you understand, that have the power to bring in these things. Just piggyback on what you're saying. You understand? And also to what is very important for us as a people to understand, you understand, is that we really have to look back at our records, which is the Bible.
That's right.
We have to look back at it, you understand, and not get tied up into doctrine and philosophies.
Right.
Because this is going to continually have us spinning, you understand, from generation to generation, but actually going and understand this is the history of our people.
Right.
You understand? This is the records. In every house, they have rules. In every business, in every establishment, they have rules.
Right.
And in order for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to be the people that the Lord want them to be, or as when we go say, some people might say, hey, what going on with Black people? But like, we can't see we way.
Yeah.
Nah, we could see we way, but we're not following the rules of the house.
All right. Yeah.
You understand? Rules of the house right here in this Bible. For example, we have things like don't eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. That's the way we're supposed to dress, stop committing adultery. And if you apply these things in the same areas that people may dislike, like the ghettos, for example, which is a beautiful place, but in the ghettos, it just don't have rules. You understand? And if you apply these things in these areas, obviously you're going to see the change and you're going to see Black people to be the spectacle that the Lord wants them to be. You understand, Salakia, sir?
I didn't give it up. Because now, again, this is what I tell brothers, again, feel free to, again, to call in, right? Don't shy away, because, it's like to understand or to hear this, it's like, nah, let me call in and, let me link with my family, let me link with my brothers and them and
correct.
See what really going on, because now again we have prison programs. Because now, as we say, coming up, coming up, coming up on our way to the radio stations, listening on the channel, it had a conference with the Minister of National Security, right, and I think they want to relocate, the prison that is in the heart of the city, and relocate, the prisoners and them from, that location into somewhere else. Because now again, it's like you have a president in the midst where, you know, everybody moving. So again, that just commerce and business, right? So again, we tell brothers again who, you know, who will then we have a prison program, right? Again, the number you can call is 479-8286, right? This is on our webpage, right? And again, you can go up on our webpage and, you know, you'll see the location of the school, and we remind brothers at the ending of the program, you know, of the school location again, and, you know, how you could, you know, could reach out to the school, right? So this is important, right, to us as a people, as a family. So it's like we having a family meeting on, again, a family meeting, and, you know, people could feel, you know, feel free calling, you know, bring your questions,
Feel
bring your
free.
questions, you know, don't look at it as, you know, that, you know, these brothers and them here, you know, and you know, they want to, you know, let me say, have a hold or a stronghold on let me say, demonizing all people or demonizing this family. You know, it's a reminder to us, right? It's a reminder to our family, right? And this is why it's important to us, because a lot of things that we grew up learning, you know, we didn't understand.
Correct.
And why we didn't understand it? Because no, it wasn't taught to us in the correct perspective of how to go about and how to, you know, to proceed in doing what we do, right? And this is why a lot of our brothers, you know, end up, you know, in these prison houses, and there's a way, because a lot of our brothers, you know, in this school, you know, went through programs like this, or prison program, and when you look at the structure of, you know, that brother today, you know, you'd see that they are, we see, they are examples unto other brothers,
Right.
you know, coming through that same program, right? Again, what we learn is straight out of these records, right? And we just read, you know, Jacob bringing that reminder to you know, to his sons, and then now we're going and read again a same, you know, similar situation, but at this time now is who bringing it, right? So that's
33, Deuteronomy 33.
Yeah, 33.
Come on, cancer. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33 and verse 24.
and one. Read one please.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33 and verse 1. And this is the blessing wherewith Moses, the man of God, blessed the children of Israel before his death.
Right. So you see now who Moses is. A lot of people don't know Moses was from the tribe of Levi.
Right.
Moses was from one of the sons that derived from who? From Israel.
Correct.
So Moses was who? A big brother.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob tell it. So now you see the culture, and this is why we here to tell brothers that this commanding general Yana is a brother from the
Right.
tribe of from Benjamin,
Mm-hmm.
holding down this truth under you know, men before him. And again, there's a list of brothers, you know, who was before him, who, you know, do the study and we say put in the work, and whereby we could be able to become a man of this work that Moses is putting in is through the Most High God,
Right.
that spirit, that vibe. So people here, you know, the Holy Spirit, derives somewhat from the vibe of the Most High God,
Right.
meaning that, hey, anything that my father instruct me to do, I would carry it out, because I want to be in the same vibe or the same spirit
Right,
as
correct.
my father. And this is Moses here carrying out what the spirit of who? The father Israel. From your father, your great grandfather Israel, because now he come from, I would say, from Levi. Levi was the son of who? Israel,
Right.
the son of Jacob. So now what Moses doing? He just reiterating it to his brothers.
The brothers, correct.
So now we say, wait, say again in verse 1.
Can. And this is the blessing wherewith Moses, the man of God, blessed the children of Israel before his death.
Right, go ahead.
Verse 2. And he said, the Lord came from Sinai and rose up from Seir unto them. He shined forth from Mount Paran, and he came with 10,000 of saints from his right hand went a fiery law for them.
Right. So now again, all these things, and see when you go back and you read the story, we see these instructions, you know, coming out through Moses leading this family
Right.
out of, as we say, out of the hands of our oppressors by the hand of the Lord, right? With as we say, with the angelic hosts, right? Verse 3.
Verse 3. Yea, he loved the people. All his saints are in thy hand, and they sat down at thy feet. Every one shall receive of thy words.
Right. So now, who are these saints? And again, it just going in to the same list that I would say that the same brothers and them. We just fast forwarding to Moses now doing the same thing as his father did to his grandfather,
Right.
his fathers before, telling them this is what where you would be. Right? Jump to 24.
Can.
Go ahead.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33 and verse 24. And of Asher, he said, let Asher be blessed with children. Let him be acceptable to his brethren, and let him dip his foot in oil.
No, a lot of our brothers and sisters didn't understand that this recorded inside of this book.
Right.
This oil reserve that Asher sit on is recorded in this history, in our history book. This is why it says, let his foot be dipped in what?
In oil.
In oil.
Can.
And who benefit? Because now again, when you do the history, you see a lot of, as you say, these Caribbean nations, or as you say, benefiting from what? From off of the oil. And we here in Trinidad is most privy towards that.
Right.
Oil and gas. What reserve we really have to say that we benefit off our brother Asher.
Mm-hmm.
We benefit off of that. So now, if we understand that Asher is our brother, then now, as we say, words, we would not let, as we say, nobody come in between this family. Because again, a lot of people have been, pushing their way or weeding their way in between this family and causing division and causing separation. And again, all records say that anybody that causes this score amongst brethren is a wicked person. They're not nice. And we see that has been happening for, as we say, for a period of time.
Right.
Right? Again, we kind of
Just start take some calls.
yeah. Again, if anybody, feel free to call in on the line, right? Or else you call in, again, feel free to ask your questions, right? Anything come up on the screen.
No, nothing.
Right? Again, just with that little brief history, again, Asha, it is our brother, right? And again, we shouldn't look at our brother with that evil eye. We have been taught to do that, right? Again, we here in the Caribbean, again, in Trinidad, a lot of us are predominantly from the tribe of Benjamin, because again, we have a lot of the tribes here in Trinidad as well. We are Ash, we are Ephraim, we are Judah. Have a lot of brothers, venture. If anybody ever hear about Americans,
Mm-hmm.
right? That was a history during World War II, right?
Right.
Where, a lot of our brothers from the tribe of Judah came down here, and had reside, in places as Lavantil.
Correct.
In the same places as we say in Maruga, we call first, second, and we say third companies. When you hear about the companies,
Mm-hmm.
they reside in these areas, and then so now Trinidad is full of history. But the history that wouldn't be brought out is history like this. Because now it's like you living in a time frame where you don't really have an identity, where you really can't have a grasp on, to claim this is who I am.
Right.
Or to claim, this is my culture. Because now the society gobble us up, and and let me say, and when it release us, we were released into different demographic culture. And again, all of this is recorded inside that. So again, callers, again, feel free to call in, right? To ask the questions, right? Right? Anything
Yeah, we like to hear from the callers on the outside. Number is 342-0081. Again, that number is 342-0081. could call in. Let me hear your voice. Let me hear your opinions. Let me hear your thoughts.
Right. So again, just a reminder, right? Our school location is Morris Street, Point Fortin. Right. The number to call is 479-8286. Right. Again, you can go up on our webpage, ISUPK Trinidad and Tobago, right? And you will get, the information that is needed, right? Again, Commandant General Yana has been, putting in the work, and this is just, part of, or one of, his many, let me say, fruit to let me say to bring forth to bear, right? Under the Most High and Christ. Always remember that, because again, we follow Christ, right? And the Most High. And this brother follow the Most High and Christ. And this is why we follow the instructions, because now it's like this. Paul mentioned this. He said, follow me. He said, even as I am a follower of Christ. Commandant General and follow Christ. And this is why we follow many that follow Christ. Right? And again, the ISUPK, and now let's, just dropping this, and we're not affiliated, right, with any, groups, right? Whether it be, these different, as we say, organization, right? We're not affiliated with them,
Okay.
right? Meaning that, here is the only place you will understand what it means to be a brother, what it means to have care for your people,
Right.
what it means to, to love your brother, as Christ said, to love your brother, as you would love yourself, right? This school is the only place that again that you would learn and get a full understanding of that. Because now I know for some people, or for a lot of people who haven't known that Asha was our brother.
Right. Blood brothers.
Blood brothers, correct. The one after that.
Okay.
The one after that. Right?
So like I say, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right, just as you're rightfully saying, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, this school, again, is here for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Come learn your culture, come and learn your history, come and learn your records. Most people might think that the Bible it joins together with religion. Nah, the Bible and religion is two separate things. The Bible have absolutely nothing to do with religion. You understand? The Bible has to do with our people, their culture, and their history. And when you take your time and you start understanding this, then you will see who is this people. You understand? What culture they had, what history they had. You understand? Why this people is at the bottom of society. You understand? Most people might think that the ghettos can't clean, the ghettos can't change, the ghettos could change. Black on black crime could stop. Yeah, abortion could stop. All these things is in the Bible, and it shows how it could be stopped.
That's right.
You understand? So like you said.
Yeah. What the brother bringing out is very bad information, and information that we would need in this time, right? So, as you said, these are reminders, because we were reminded as well. These, in these, with these same, words that is being brought out or being brought forth here to our brothers and sisters, right? So again, Commanding General Yana, we have a food drive, this coming September,
Right.
right? Again, stay in tune, right? Again, to keep checking, our webpage, ISUPK Trinidad and Tobago, right? Check our webpage, and all the information, the day and time, where the drive would be hosted. Again, Commanding General Yana has been, feeding, clothing brothers and sisters throughout, the four corners of this. And
Right.
say he has been doing that, he's doing it in the spirit of the Most High in Christ.
Correct.
Just like any brother would have a care for his family,
Right.
would have a care for his brother, would have a care for his sister. This is what Commanding General has been doing, right? Again, he can join Commanding General as well. Every Monday on his, show, Commanding General, the real General Yana, from 9 p.m. Every Monday, right? From 9 p.m. every Monday. right? Again, and again, this is how important it is right now for us, to come to this truth, or to come back to the knowledge of knowing who we are, of knowing our identity. So again, we just, did a short, history on Asha, right? And we see, right, the condition, and we see what taking place right now with Asha, right? And with that last, footage that coming out from what took place, it shows, or it demonstrates and highlighted something to us that, as our records say, never trust the enemy.
Correct.
Never trust the enemy. Because now we have a lot of people who doesn't want to see no good for us, who doesn't want to see us, rise as a family, who doesn't want to see us rise as a people or rise as a nation. But know this, we would never, bring harm to none of them, to any one of them, because now that is not in our nature. But we tell you this, we will defend ourselves. But who is our greatest defense? The Most High God,
Right.
when we follow the instructions. And this is why when we go back again in our history or records, we would see that we never, went out to bring harm to anyone without the instructions coming out of the men that following after the instructions of the Most High God. We'd never do that. We never bring harm to these, as you say, these other nations or races of people. And these are reminders to us, right? So again, Paul has, as you say, we listen. This is something. That was a Paul or somebody. He just kind of blanked me. That's right. Yeah. Okay. All right, no problem. Appreciate that. Thanks. Right. So, again, all right. So, again, we'll take some calls, last.
Yeah, can.
So again, callers, feel free to call in, call the number, right? 342-0081 or 466-5391, right? So, and 771-1791, right? So feel free to call, any one of these numbers, right? And, we appreciate, or your contribution or your question, towards the show, right? So again, we'll be here, every Tuesday from 7 p.m., right? And, again, feel free to call in, on 7. Listen. So, yes. All right. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah. I'm just going to question. We are going to of the patient being the radio.
If you can repeat yourself, caller.
I was on the next one to repeat. It's just like about I can get more information, especially about price of I
Okay. Okay. You could go up onto ISUPK, right? Trinidad and Tobago, right?
On any social media site.
Right? Right? You're writing it down?
I'm traveling. Sorry.
All right.
If I could follow that,
All right. All right. It have a number that you can call. The school number is 479-8286. Right? 8286.
479-8286.
Yeah, and you'll get all the information that you need, right? So again, I appreciate your caller, right? I appreciate your contribution towards the show, right? And the information is not any information that is hidden; it's information that will be shared, right? So
it's number 469-878.
479 47
86
82.
82.
Okay, time.
82, 82, 86.
Oh,
It's 82, 86. Yeah, man?
Did you go on there? Go on.
Yes, you reiterated payment.
Yes. I came up with something. And yeah, right. So again, if you all are listening, still online, right? The number is 479-8286, right? 479-8286, right? So you can call the number, right? And you'll get the information, that you're seeking, right? Again, we have a school location, right? Morris Street Point 14, right? We have classes, Monday through Thursday, right? Or Sabbath services on Saturday, right?
So like yes, only for me, just add to what you're saying. We also have a Hebrew class on Friday where you can learn the Hebrew tongue, the Lashawan Kodash, which is we have that on Friday also by a young brother out in England. Right, you could tune into that class too, and you could start learning the alphabet and the Hebrew words. Like when we come to the show, I want to hear we say shalom, which means peace. You understand? So you could learn all these things. Just as the officer rightfully saying, right? We have classes Monday, Tuesday, straight out to Tuesday, Lashawan Kwadash on Friday, and also the Sabbath service. You see how the nation of Israel really performs the duties of the Lord. You understand? Again, the Bible have nothing to do with religion. The Bible is about Black history, black culture, that culture that our people is missing right now. Rightfully be the people that the Lord wants us to be. So like yes, sir.
That's right. Those are facts, right? Again, Tawala for that, and Tawala just means thank you, right?
In the
So,
Hebrew.
we use a lot of these words is like, as our records say, we come back to our native tongue,
Right.
right? Our native tongue, is Hebrew, right? So again, we appreciate, the time, again, call us, feel free to go up on our school page or web page or isupk.com, right? For any information that you need, right? We have schools throughout, the four corners of the earth, under Commanding General Yana. Commanding General Yana, again, just being, the brother at this time, under the Spirit of the Most High Christ, looking over, the affairs. Or just like we read about Moses, bringing that reminder to us. Right? And again, we as well, being taught and, brought up and raised up, we doing the same as well.
Right.
Right down here in Trinidad.
So like I say, if I may just add a little bit before we go, right? Just as you're saying, we have schools throughout the four corners of the earth. You might have family who might want to know more. We have schools throughout the Caribbean islands. You understand? Which is very important also. So although you might be here and you might have family, you might want to get in contact with a school in their location also, feel free. Call the number the officer just give, and we'll direct it to the correct location, to the school closest to you, wherever you or your family member might be also.
That's right. Right. So, yeah. So, I say we go wait, see.
See, we have more callers. Can no, sir.
Call us, feel free to call in, right? Again, we appreciate the caller, and again, this is something that this is questions, that brothers and sisters, would always ask, and it's very important to us, because we're seeking, right? And if we really, seek genuinely, and just as we say, we ask the Lord will open up that pathway.
Correct.
The Lord will open up that pathway. And this is why, we're here, on the program right now. Again, again, we sit up and again, who's in us again, on 91.9 FM, to bring, this truth out and to bring the reminder to any family, as you say, to bring the reminder to this house, this people, our nation, right? So
again, so like I say, family, look out for us next week, Thursday,
right.
7 p.m. Right, this and every Thursday. Come with your questions, get your answers. And we're here for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
You are listening to the Street 919 FM. Stay with us for news, interviews, and commentary that shape our democracy. Street 919 FM.
ISUPK, Trinidad and Tobago, under Commanding General Yohana. We will be live on the streets, 91.9 FM.
One west to the death till they bury me.
Every Thursday from 7 p.m. Hosted by Officer Sawapya Allah and Officer
One
Maskoya.
west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. Live every Thursday night from 7 p.m. on the streets, 91.9 FM.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one west. They're one west. They're one west. They're
ISUPK, Trinidad and Tobago, under Commanding General Yohana. We will be live on the streets, 91.9 FM.
One west to the death till they bury me.
Every Thursday from 7 p.m. Hosted by Officer Sawapya Allah and Officer
One
Maskoya.
west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. Live every Thursday night from 7 p.m. on the streets, 91.9 FM.